Hey guys, Somber Chaos here, and welcome to another episode of Somber Chaos Reviews. I was going to start the review on this whole thing about, oh, I'm nervous and please don't hate me for this review, until I realized that that would be pointless and unneeded. So let's get started the review. Today I'm reviewing Project Thundercloud 2 Shadowbox, which is odd because I don't ever remember there being a Project Thundercloud 1. Whatever. This is a fan animation made by Playerdotexe. It was a little known project in the community for a while, and was uploaded just last month, and was met with mixed to positive reception. Now I'm going to say this right off the bat. I think this video sucks, and I will be changing up my style for this review to a more traditional style. Usually I would review an episode by category, but for this episode I'm going to review via watch through. So with all that out of the way, let's get into this. So the animation starts and we get an upward pan with the moon showcasing the lighting effects. And this looks pretty cool until you realize that you'll be looking at this freaking moon for a grand total of, and yes I timed this, 4 minutes and 54 seconds of this fan animation, which is freaking ridiculous. Yes, we get it. There is a moon that is relevant to the story and you have high-end lighting effects. Please stop showing us this thing. Anyway, we move on to Derpy as she tells us who she is and what she does.
My name is Derpy Hooves. I am a simple Pegasus pony from Ponyville. However, there's something different about me that you must know. I have strabismus, meaning my eyes are not properly aligned with each other.
Now, to this thing's credit, I have to give them props. Strabismus is a real eye condition, and that is what it does. In fact, a long time ago, I made a video that offered that very same theory back on my Somber Guy Toy account. However, this video can no longer be viewed, and rightfully so, it's awful. Derpy goes on to explain how this is who she was and her problem couldn't be fixed, as well as how she had to earn respect. And after that, we get a really weird and out-of-place animation that I thought was a title sequence, but upon further inspection, I'm not really sure what it is, what it means, or why it's even here, let alone with no context, and it goes on to make even less sense because when we come back, Derpy is still telling us her story. So what's the deal with this animation? It's like the editor just randomly spliced it in. It may sound like I'm harping on this a little too much, but if you want a well-presented fan animation, details like this can go a long way, and it's just jarring to see this here.
Despite being a great flyer raised by a former Wonderbolts member, I couldn't join them because they didn't trust my impaired vision.
Well, I can only assume that this is her mother, and we don't see or make mention of Derpy's father, so I guess Earth ponies can be Wonderbolts too, huh?
Instead, I used my silly eyes as an advantage and became one of the best male mayors of Ponyville, using my nearsighted vision to—
Wait a minute, now she's nearsighted? What happened to strabismus? Whatever, I'll give it a pass. Yes, this is a very nice effect, but I'd kind of like to see that lure that Twilight got. Can we just— oh no, she's just gonna teleport away and just gonna not see anything, just gonna look at this moon for however longer? Okay then. We get some more dialogue from Derpy, and then we find ourselves in— what? The Chamber of the Sages from Zelda Ocarina of Time? Seriously, that's what it looks like. And why are we here? How did we get here? What is Derpy going to do here? I feel like I'm reviewing Dusk's Dawn again. Oh no, Pinkie Pie. And why did that happen? What was the point of that scene, and why is Crixie here for no reason at all? Now look, I know this Chamber of the Sages scene or whatever is just a subtle way of showing, oh no, the main six are being defeated, but there is still the almighty why. Why are they being defeated? Why is Derpy here and not there? Why is Celestia doing this? Why is this even happening? Why show Pinkie Pie getting trapped in a crystal that doesn't even cover her entire body? By the way, possibly another Zelda reference. And no one else. This scene just seems a big waste of time. And then we just cut to Derpy confronting Celestia, and where did Derpy come from? Seriously, I'm getting annoyed here. There are so many holes in this story that I might as well be reviewing Swiss keys. Anyway, continuing on, Derpy confronts Celestia, and she turns into Molestia? What the hell? Okay, she doesn't really turn into Molestia, but that's what it looks like. But here we go. Derpy versus Celestia. This is gonna be epic. Let's see this. I hate this fan animation so much. You don't do this! You don't set up a fight scene and then just cut to white! And listen to this scene! I didn't edit this! There is no audio here! Thankfully, this is the only time this happens. I want to like this fan animation, but it's becoming pretty hard to do so with all these mistakes. So then we zoom out of Canterlot to see Derpy's daughter, Dinky Hooves.
Dear Princess Celestia, my name is Dinky Hooves, the daughter of Derpy Hooves. I am a simple unicorn filly from Ponyville. However, there is something rare about me. I have horn and verses. Rather than turning counterclockwise like most unicorns, it turns clockwise. My special horn made me feel very different from other unicorns, as all the spells that we learn are written in counterclockwise magic. I couldn't cast a single one of them. I didn't want to be called a silly horn and mocked for this, but I could not do anything about it.
Okay, wait a minute. Why are we getting a description of Dinky Hooves now? Did we zoom out into another fan animation where Dinky is the main character instead of Derpy? This story is already disorientating enough, but now you're introducing an entirely new character with another in-depth description? But here's the thing. This is not the time for it. Whatever, screw it. So we get a description of Dinky, and for how ill-timed this description is, I do like the idea of horn and versus, and I even like the name. It sounds like an interesting plot element and a difficult obstacle for our little filly to get over, so I'm interested to see how that plays out.
I remember one night, my mommy told me, "What matters is not what you are, but what you do. I might be blind, but..."
So now Derpy is blind, so I guess this scene doesn't mean anything anymore.
And became one of the best male mares of Ponyville, using my nearsighted vision to keep my focus on my male.
I really hate plot inconsistencies like this, mainly because nearsighted and blind are not one and the same, and neither is strabismus for that matter. Over the course of this video, Derpy has been labeled with 3 different eye conditions, and this is very poor writing because it prevents you from fully identifying with the character. Anyway, continuing on, we learn how Dinky overcame her horn and versus.
I understood that day that I had to accept my horn and work hard if I wanted to cast magic, so I started studying it. She was just a Pegasus who raised me as her daughter. She couldn't teach me anything about magic, so she asked her unicorn friends to teach me instead. Final Scratch, a disc pony with a backwards note representing her musical talent and her ability to reinvent it, taught me about magical arts. Amethyst Star, a crystal magician with 3 gemstones representing her talent with things that are precious, taught me about altruistic magics. And Lyra Heartstrings, an inventor with a lyre representing her talent with finely tuned tools, taught me about magical sciences. But Derpy still taught me something important. She told me to never give up and that there was always a solution to your problems. I read books after books to finally understand magic so I could rewrite my spells for my special horn. And at the end, I finally did what other unicorns could do. It's not perfect, however. My translation is not that accurate and I often make mistakes, but still, I can do something.
You've gotta be kidding me. You set up the Horde and Versus stuff, and then you just wave it away by saying, oh, well, she taught me this and she taught me that. How did they teach you these things? We're not even 10 minutes into this thing, and I'm already extremely let down.
You want to make the endless night, and I can't allow you to do this. I'm just a filly, and I might not be very strong, but I must do something about it.
Okay, so there are so many problems with this next scene that I'm not really even sure how to approach it other than showing it to you as a whole and dissecting it from there.
Don't worry, Dinky. I'm sure they will come back very soon. Why don't I show you a new spell while we are waiting for them? And I could bake you some muffins, too.
There is something wrong right now. First with the moon, then Mommy and Daddy leaving Canterlot without telling me why. I have a deep feeling that the story of Nightmare Moon is going to happen again. I cannot stay here and do nothing while Equestria is falling into darkness. I have to go there and help them.
I cannot let you go to Canterlot on your own. You know you're too young for that. Leave it to the big persons instead. I'm sure they will...
I'm so sorry.
First off, I have a big problem with the arrangement in this scene. Dinky's mother and father are addressed as they before they are addressed as mother and father. Wouldn't it have made more sense to have the scene play out like this?
There is something wrong right now. First with the moon, then Mommy and Daddy leaving Canterlot without telling me why.
Don't worry, Dinky. I'm sure they will come back very soon. Why don't I show you a new spell while we are waiting for them? And I could bake you some muffins, too.
I have a deep feeling that the story of Nightmare Moon is going to happen again. I cannot stay here and do nothing while Equestria is falling into darkness. I have to go there and help them.
Also, how did Dinky knock out Amethyst here? Guess, what? No, seriously, what did she do? Watch it again. Nothing happens. Whatever, don't question it. So yeah, this unprotected filly who can barely use magic is going to take a train to a city miles away, alone, and somehow find her way around said huge city to get into a castle that most likely is being protected by security, just so she can confront who is considered to be God of Equestria, who's doing whatever the hell this is for a still unknown reason. Oh yeah, there's no way this can possibly go wrong. Am I dead yet? Alright, Playerdotexe, a bad fan animation is one thing, but to show this statue of Snowdrop and remind me that I could be watching that instead of this, that is hitting below the belt, man. Come on. But in all seriousness, to this scene's credit, if we are going for the blind motif, I can see why Derpy would be looking at this statue of Snowdrop, as it serves as a symbol of inspiration for her and... Wait a minute, she can't even see that statue! So why is she even here? Just keep going, I can't with this. 3D rendered houses? That's pretty interesting.
Ditzy.
Where's Dinky? I thought you were...
Dinky is safe. I came here as soon as your sister told me about it. Tell me what happened.
Okay, there is also a multitude of things wrong with this scene. First off, listen to the voice actor for Dr. Hooves.
Ditzy, you can barely walk in a straight line. I know you can do incredible things all by yourself, but let us help you with this. Please. I couldn't go alone. We are friends after all. Only if we work together will we be able to gather back the Elm's harmony. If we don't do this, Equestria will freeze, and I can't let this happen. It's not about me and you. It's just something that has to be done, and I need your help.
What the hell? Is he being voiced by the Micro Machine guy? Why is he talking so fast? Did the editor speed up his audio? Was this guy on like 12 cups of coffee? There is no reason he should be talking this fast. It's actually comical how fast he's talking. I can't keep a straight face while listening to him. I mean, guess what? If I conducted the rest of the review like this, it would be pretty annoying because it'd be hard to hear me and my words would get distorted and I can't let that happen. Aside from this, it seems someone finally came to their senses because we finally get some desperately needed exposition.
When Princess Twilight read out loud the letter I had to deliver, it said that Princess Luna required her help. When she got trapped on the moon, I understood that something bad happened to her. I saw the elements of harmony vanish, and Princess Celestia told me that she wanted to never make the sun rise again. I just have to save her.
But my question is, why now and why not when all of this was unfolding? Exposition dumps can be done right, but when they're done poorly, it reflects badly on the writer, and this is done very poorly because we could have gotten all this info as it unfolded. But no, pretty high-end moonlighting effects just seem to be more important. I'm not finding things to nitpick here, it's just simple logic. So after that, we zoom out and then fade to Dinky telling why Celestia is acting the way she's acting. Finally, we get the plot. They use her connection to the sun and the sun going supernova as an analogy, and it's an interesting idea, but it doesn't really work because Dinky also states that Celestia hasn't slept for 1,000 years and that she had run out of energy. But she really had no reason not to sleep, and the animation doesn't really give us a reason anyway. So it's kind of a weak explanation. So weak that it defeats the entire plot of the story. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I've watched this animation 7 times and I didn't hear anything as to why she didn't sleep. All I heard was...
I found out what's happened to you from all the books I read about magic. It's not unidirectional, and it can corrupt its user. You didn't sleep for more than 1,000 of years, and you simply ran out of energy. And like the sun would do, you are turning into a supernova. All the pressure on you made you collide, and now you're attracting us in your fall.
So that's my understanding of the plot. After that nearly pointless explanation, we get a battle with Celestia, and Dinky tries to save her mother. And as you would expect, this animation attempts to rip off the end of the first episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and oh my god, what is up with Vinyl's hair? Look at that, did she try to cut her hair with a lawnmower? And while I'm at, since when did Celestia's tail become Goku's normal hair colored pink? Another thing that I have to say about this scene is, if you listen carefully, you can hear the original audio from the show on this music track.
You always wanted to give a good impression to others as cellists. You never spoke a word louder than the other. That's why you are the element of kindness. Vinyl, you are a respected DJ that always gave fair reviews of other musics, and you never hid who you really were. That's why you're the element of honesty. Bun Bun, you are the element of laughter. When giving sweets to ponies, you always told them fresh and funny stories to make them laugh and smile. Lyra, with all your strange inventions, you always wanted to help the world progress. You even tried without success to cure Derpy's eyes, and that's why you represent the element of generosity.
Personally, that completely takes me out of the animation. You're telling me that a guy who had all of these Adobe products at his disposal couldn't have made it better? I don't think I'm asking the moon here, guys. No, not that moon! Get it off my screen! God, you're blinding me with that thing, you know that? Anyway, in some cartoons, there is a scene where the enemy stands idly by and lets the hero monologue. When this is done, it has to not drag on for too long or the monologue loses its believability, as the enemy is there and can attack at any time. An easy fix for this is conversing with the enemy, but that doesn't happen here. It's just a long, choppy 360 pan shot while Dinky goes on this whole 2-minute monologue and conversation. And this is a personal pet peeve of mine, because it's like, hello, the enemy is still here. Maybe you want to stop talking and finish her off already? And also, listen to this.
With the determination you had, you worked hard to earn the respect of others. And from this, you influenced all of us to become better individuals. You were the forgotten element of inspiration, Bright Eyes. That's also the true meaning of your cutie mark. It's not about your clumsiness. It's because you are the one connecting the 7 of us together.
How in the hell does Dinky know all this stuff? I know that they say in the video that she reads a lot of books and even writes some so she can perform magic with her horn and versus, but there is a limit. She just keeps going on, and to make matters worse, she has a bit of an annoying voice when exposed to it for a long period of time. So they use the elements of harmony, stop Celestia, Luna crashes through the window, Celestia realizes what she did wrong, and that is the end of Project Thundercloud to Shadowbox. So final thoughts are, I'm honestly disappointed. When I saw the trailers for this animation, I thought that it was going to be something special. I really didn't expect this. I have a reasonable amount of respect for Playerdotexe, and I just wish that he knew how to do everything as nicely as he does visuals. This animation had a lot of potential and was just bogged down by visuals taking priority over everything else in the first half, with Derpy's life story shoehorned in, and choppy animation paired with the overly ambitious idea of putting 2D characters on 3D rendered backgrounds for the second half, with exposition dumps that could have easily been avoided. Bald Dumbo Rat, as always, gives a solid performance as Derpy. Sadly, the same cannot be said for her performance as Dinky, as the voice can wear on the ears quite badly after a couple of minutes, and all the other voices are, for the most part, okay. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's far from good, and this animation has a follow-up called Dinky's Destiny, which I will review when it comes out. I just hope that it's better presented than this. I wanted to like this animation, but sadly the storytelling is just not there. Here's hoping that Dinky's Destiny is better. I give this animation a 4.3 out of 10. Good visuals, overboard on the lighting effects, but subpar on everything else. So that's it for this episode. This is Somber Chaos, flying out. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Somber Chaos Reviews. I really appreciate it. If you care to see the other reviews I've done, you can click on them. They're all right there. Big shout out to my friend Smugleaf the Smug for doing the title card for this episode. It may look lacking, but please go easy on me. It was my first request for any kind of art from anyone. Basically, I forgot to tell him what I wanted my OC doing. All I told him was Bright Moon, me being blinded by it, and Dinky somewhere. So that's my bad. But if you want to check out his DeviantArt, he's known on there as The Music Dude 3. A link to it will be in the description. And as for my next review, well, I'm not really sure, to be honest. But when in doubt, I find making a top list to be a good fix. So I may just do that.